Cool. Cool. The operation was taken over at that point by MI5, so they would have been the lead handlers on the operation. I'm not going to say much about what went on in my household, because honestly, my family are still involved, so it's good not to put them down or say anything bad. Most of it is memory erased. Yeah, memory eraser technology, very real. You can do it on mice, make them forget how to run a maze, that kind of thing. They do it for electromagnetic pulses, but honestly it's done differently nowadays through holographic receivers and all this stuff. You don't need any kit, so you don't need a chip or anything like this. I may have one, God knows if that's true. It was mentioned in a psychological report written by a psychiatrist that I mentioned something to do with a chip in my brain. I did not. I've had this before. If it is, it's probably placed there by MI6 or CIA or something along those lines. It's really hard to say. Yeah. Yeah, I positively have been handled from a young age. It's hard to say. It's mostly done through memory erasure technology. It's memory erasure, and they'll say it's hypnosis or something. You know, it's very silly. Something like that came out in the MK Ultra or something like that, and it's untrue. Chips were found in children involved in MK Ultra, and there's also loads of advanced technology. Honestly, they were just testing some cybernetic implants at the time. I forgot to take them out before court case. It's not done like that anymore. It's remote, so anyone thinking chips in the brain or anything like that, it's done remotely. And it would be done through non-local entanglement technology and quantum teleportation and all this fancy new stuff and quantum control and all this high-tech stuff as to not leave signals and incoming and outgoing rays going into people's heads. These were honestly very early drafts of this technology. So for anyone with voices in their head and all this stuff, it's absolute bollocks. It's just handling. It's literally all just handling, so I wouldn't worry about that. It's just social stigma forced on the population by early versions of MI6, so that was the purpose of it, to brand the population psychotic, which basically everyone is, because this technology does drive people insane, because you get yammering from handlers 24/7. They are operation handlers. Operation handling is the correct title for it. It's also done with people walking into your room and blackmailing you with underage children. Yeah, I'm sorry. So if anything like that happens in my life, any claims or anything like this, that is where it's from. Because you will experience 3 missing hours or something, as I did last night. You go down to lay down for 5 seconds and you look at your watch or clock or something, and you find 3 hours have passed. Hey, what was it? And you smell funny. Hey. Yep, it was operation handling, which of course it is. And there's all sorts of snake techniques where you just say, they do it, they're handlers, or that's the jiu-jitsu reversal or whatever. That's the kind of throwdown. So yeah, it was a lot of handling in my early life. From memory, it was okay. There's a lot of isolation, extreme levels of social isolation. That was programmed by my lead programmer, because you have not programming as in computer programming, but programming as in programming of the mind. My lead handler was a man named Sam. I can say that. I'm not going to say a surname or anything. I'm going to leave him out of it because I do like the guy. He is quite a personality. He's a known personality. He's quite out there. Hopefully he assists, but he can very easily switch and disclaim and all this stuff. But honestly, I like the guy. Yeah, he's a physicist, a lot of things. But yeah, that's a lead programmer is basically you take a child and you can form them into any shape. That's the whole idea from it. So you'll have programming words like strong. Maybe they want you to be a strong man and enter a strongman competition or something. So they say strong and they get you to lift up heavy stuff. Honestly, I believe in positive programming. Like personally, I believe in positive programming. Not stuff where they do all this and this and this and this and this and yeah, because that is another part of it. Because they use that kind of positive stimulus again, using this using programs like MindNet. I believe that's the name, to alter neurochemistry and physiology to make you feel good while people do bad stuff to you. Positive programming is just telling you you're a strong person, you can make it through this. When you're older, you're going to do great things, or even this can be detrimental, obviously. But that's the gist of programming. You can, I don't know, like click your fingers and tell someone they're a chicken. You can do that from a very young age, and get them to do a chicken impersonation and delete the memory. So you then just like click your fingers. You do this repeatedly over and over again. You blank the memory, and then you go click. By the way, Sam is a well-known quantity. He's out there saying he, as a child, or later on in life, he was experimenting with like neuropsychiatry and neurophysiology and all this stuff, and he could program and move people. There's footage, very early footage from the maybe 50s, 40s, 30s, somewhere around that time, where they put electrical stimulus in people's brains, and they just send a little pulse through and jerk someone's arm. Right? It's all done in conjunction. It's all done in conjunction between severe abuse, which is part of it, and severe abuse, physical, mental, sexual, everything. All this technology, like neuroweaponry, basically. Brain interface technology, brain-computer interface technology, because you can shut off certain areas of the mind, switch certain other areas of the mind on, give them a dopamine spike when someone enters a room, flood their brain with oxytocin. Honestly, during the early days, they'd give you something like ephedra or something like that. You'd walk into the room, here's a cup of water, you drink the cup of water, you drink the ephedra. These are all magical witches' brews. So when they talk about witches and potions, that's what it was. They're basically spiking to get you some kind of oxytocin response. So you'd walk in the room and you'd love bomb to someone. Nowadays, it's done through all this advanced technology. They get you to repeat the exact same degrees. And yeah, you'd fall in love with someone, or someone would fall in love with you, and they'd say it's a magic spell or something like that, but no, it's all technology. Nowadays, they just hand you a handler phone, and it's all on the programming. You can literally go for a program on your phone, click it, and someone will fall in love with you. It'll be love at first sight. I've had it happen. So, yeah. So if you're none the wiser to these kind of techniques, then there's also psychotronic drilling. So you repeat the same thing over and over and over and over again. These are all classical techniques, but they work in conjunction with the newer stuff. And so yeah, that was done. So programming, lead programmer. My other lead programmer was a she's nice enough. I met her later on in life. It's hard to tell when you meet someone because time travel technology is real. It's proven mathematically with Gödel Lust that you can rotate universe. If you're in a spinning universe, you can rotate it backwards and voila, time travel. It doesn't necessarily work like that. Nowadays, it's probably more likely to do a backwards technology. Backwards trajectories. It's to do with backwards trajectories of like Feynman diagrams, that kind of thing, and chronons and all this witchcraft level or Hogwarts level technology. Yeah, where you can spin time backwards, you can go backwards in time, you can age backwards. That's another technique they use in plants and so on. Call someone up to go to court and all of a sudden they're 12 years old or something, you know? That kind of technology definitely exists. So, time travel was an active use in my life. So, I can't say too much about it. My memories are very blurred on that front, but time traveling was definitely real. A lot of people have this kind of thing. They'll drag in a psychotic patient, like so-and-so psychotic, and they'll talk about time travel, or I gave birth to my grandma, or something like that. And honestly, they did. They've been used in Time Lodges, handled, sent back in time. They do all this. They do all their operations, probably screwing up the timeline. Hopefully, it's for the best. And hey, what do you know? Honestly, the Einstein's twin paradox. No, grandfather paradox. Sorry, grandfather. I'm thinking of relativistic stuff, which is related, obviously. That's how you get visions of the future. That's how you get visions of the future. They're given to people. You just send off a photon, send it into the future, leave it entangled, and hey, what do you know? You can basically, I don't know. Right. It works through backwards entanglement, is basically, or time entanglement, as far as I know. You could also simulate events, that kind of thing. Use massive quantum computers, holographic computers, and get it to simulate the future and what's going on. But we honestly know that's not used anymore. So it was called Operation Looking Glass. I knew that. My father told me about it when I was a kid. Allegedly from the 1960s, it was invented by the CIA and all this stuff. But honestly, there's MI6 involvement too, because they're the big guns running the show. That's what I've heard. From behind the scenes or whatever. Hey. What else is there? There's not much to say. There was not much going on in that house, except for me being left in the bedroom for like isolated high amounts of time. Because it's highly likely I've been programmed to go to prison, by the way, as a fall guy or something, or just to be put away, or to keep secrets away, or kept under lock and key. So I was kind of made to survive that kind of environment with extreme social isolation and so on. Obviously that's not the full story in that one, but it's part of it. They wanted me to be alone so I could be an independent thinker, so not care too much. I was a bit of an experiment from what I've heard about keeping someone out for extreme amounts of time, and someone who was capable of figuring out secrets and putting it all together and then getting targeted or pseudo-targeted, because it's literally all just kind of a game. All these operations are just kind of cat and mouse games. So.